I'm really glad that Mylan Kicks is here tonight. I got to see it at TIFF. Absolutely incredible.
You were good.
It's finally hitting Montreal screens. So what is it like finally having the film here in Quebec?
It's stressful. What are they gonna think? It's stressful.
It's stressful, yeah.
I mean, I think it's gonna be great. But you know, it's like when you read a book for years and now they're making a movie about it.
Yeah.
You kind of feel protective over it, and now it's a neighborhood, so there's a lot involved.
It's really special. It's a little scary, I'm not gonna lie, because it's so personal. You know, it's a movie about the areas I grew up in, the people I grew up with, and all the people that I love are going to be here watching it. And yeah, so I think it's always a little extra, a little something when it's in your hometown. But it's very exciting.
What is it like being back here in Montreal finally after having filmed there? And
it's like a homecoming. It's great to be back.
Yeah.
This is the premiere that matters, you know, like with all the people that made the movie and with the heart of Montreal. And
yeah,
it's awesome. I love being here.
It feels right. It feels full circle. I mean, I miss this town. I want to come back here more often. I have so many friends from this production filming, and yeah, I missed it. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, it's very emotional. I mean, I've been working on this movie for 10 years, and I wrote the first draft of the script, you know, at the corner of like Villeneuve and like Laurier.
Wow.
And you know, so many years of just like walking the streets of Milan, dreaming about this movie, saying the dialogue out loud, framing shots in the megabus on my phone. And so it's really phenomenal to kind of be here, honor the community and like all the filmmakers who I got to collaborate with on this film, all of the Quebecois actors and artists that you know made this movie with me, and yeah, and be here. It's really, really cool.
What was it about Chandler's script that really drew you to want to do this project?
Chandler writes these beautiful stories that are just so specific that they are universal. And I think for me personally with this one, the amount of friends I had going from Toronto to Montreal who are also musicians.
Yeah.
I've had several reach out going like, did you know you're making a movie about my life? And my like short answer is just yes. There's just something so heartbreaking and truthful and flawed and beautiful about her scripts that you know.
I mean, you know, it's Chandler's scripts was amazing. Yeah, that's really good to hear that you enjoyed it and you felt that. Yeah, I think she just wrote such a great script that it was hard not to want to be a part of it. Yeah, I think all the characters, you know, maybe mine to a lesser extent, it's more black and white, but I think most of the characters are pretty gray and they have their flaws, and it is relatable, and yeah.
Well, it's interesting to see Montreal in a point of view of someone who's not from Montreal, you know, and we romanticize it enough, but we have no idea how much romanticized it is from a Toronto girl, you know, who's been in a big city, because Montreal is a big city, but it's so small that you actually have to be careful because you might, you know, the world is going to spread. So you have like, obviously her script was amazing. It's really funny while being, you know, I think it's going to spark some debates, some questions just about the, you know, French, English, problem that we have. You know, people from Toronto, they come here, they think they're going to be able to work, and it turns out you need to learn a whole new language, so it can get tricky.
To be able to play a drummer, and I've been playing drums since I was a kid. Already that was very interesting. But you know right away when you read a script, just by reading the first few like pages of dialogue, what kind of movie you have going. And I could tell right away that this was somebody who understood the time, understood the people from that time, understood the things they would say, how they would say them, what they were focused on, which is what makes it so devastatingly relatable.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say it was the overall vibe of the script, which then turned into the overall vibe of the shoot, which hopefully then turned into the overall vibe of the movie.
What was it from your experience or probably your research behind wanting to do this project?
Yeah, I think Montreal, especially at that time in 2011, as a person from outside of Montreal, really represented this kind of like utopian, like kind of bohemian ideal of like what it meant to be like a real artist. But there's like challenges that are very rightly kind of deep seated in the culture. And so to come to Montreal and really live there and kind of find yourself in this really unique community of artists, both French and English, was really a very pivotal time for me. There were a lot of exciting, like super cinematic moments, and then there were a lot of like times of me just kind of being confused and socially awkward and trying to, cross the train tracks at like Van Horn and Hutchinson at like 2 a.m. And I'm just really like, if this movie relates to anybody who's had that very authentically Canadian, like coming of age experience, I'm really happy because it's like so much of our story.
One of the things I want to point out is that you guys as cast have such a great camaraderie, and it's so funny because you all of you are such a have their own fish out of water type story.
Yeah.
Because Barbie is coming to Montreal as sort of fish out of water.
Yeah.
But you all have such different backgrounds as actors. So what was that camaraderie like on the set?
I mean, what you see on screen is very real. Like, we all became really close. Even I remember Chandler when we first met with her, she said that back in her days of being a journalist, she had interviewed Richard Linklater. And she asked him, she said, "What's the key to making a good hangout movie?" And he said, "It's pretty simple. Have your actors hang out."
Yeah.
So that's what we did. And then, we through partying, through chatting, through getting to show them Montreal, it almost becomes like a chosen family.
Yeah.
Like-minded people with common souls, common interests. Yeah. So what you see on screen is real.
It's awesome working with the entire cast is awesome. I mean, Barbie is such an incredible leader. She really made us all feel like we were in a safe space to just have fun. And working with Stanley and Robert and Isaiah and our band Bone Patrol, we were doing a lot of extracurricular work of just like renting out band spaces and jamming together and going to karaoke, and I don't know. I love these people.
We got to spend like 3 weeks together before shooting. They planned all this. They wanted us to, get it together and love each other, which worked out pretty well. Honestly, I learned so much from Barbie. She's such an iconic artist, and she's been through it in the sense of like growing up in New York, moving to LA, and of course she learned the Toronto accent, which I respect her from that. Honestly, it was amazing. Devon's from Toronto. He spent a lot of time in Montreal. Stanley is from Australia. Isaiah's from Vancouver. We all got together. They've been to Montreal before, all of them. They were happy to be there, and we were happy to show them. And we were happy to have that time, to hang out together.
Yeah.
Chandler told us, if you want to make a hangout movie, get them to hang out. And we did that.
Yeah, Chandler basically was like, "All right, guys, hang out. Like, have fun. Go around Montreal." We had awesome people like Rob, who were from here, and he showed us around a lot, which was great. And I think that was like part of the that was key to the camaraderie and the camaraderie. And I think that speaks to Montreal too. Like, I think it's similar to New York in the way that I think that there's like a service level, veneer of kind of be like, tough, but then underneath is this gooey, lovey-dovey, like people are really actually truly kind and cool people here. And I really felt that, being here. And there's definitely, times where I felt out of place, but I also felt extremely welcomed.
So what was it like bringing that cast together to create this great ensemble?
Yeah, I always wanted this movie to have a very like iconic, like generational, like ensemble feeling, like the movies I love, like Dazed and Confused and like Almost Famous, or Stillman's Metropolitan, where you feel like, okay, this like generation of actors, they're going to be like the movie stars of like their generation. And so I just was so like moved and incredibly grateful for like that, that both Barbie Ferreira and Juliette Gariépy and Stanley Simons and Devon Bostick and Robert Naylor and Isaiah, of course, the star of my first movie, they could all be in this movie together. And I remember I interviewed Richard Linklater once, and I was like, I'm making a hangout movie, which I think is a genre that you invented. Like, what's the secret to making a great hangout movie? And he's like, just make them hang out with each other. Yeah. So, like, all of my assignments for them as actors were just like, go to Nouveau Palais, get really drunk together, go see this concert, do karaoke, like go to a loft party, and to see them all fall in love with Montreal. I mean, Juliette and Robert kind of also got to show them their Montreal.
So it takes place during the 2011 music scene.
Yeah.
So 15 years ago, what was on your 2011 music playlist? Robert's personal playlist.
So I was pretty varied as a teenager. So I was 15 years old in 2011. I was somewhere between System of a Down. Oh yeah, that was a pretty metal phase for me. In Flames. And then if not, I listened to a lot of Mac DeMarco back in the day. Like my high school days, I mean, Mac DeMarco was just starting. I remember seeing him, I think it was like a Cafe Campus or something, way back. But yeah, like Mac DeMarco, System of a Down, Mac DeMarco, System of a Down, bouncing between the two. And also like a lot of like Euro trance. I was really into like the like post like Alice DJ, Bass Hunter, even like that like high school dance era of music was definitely on my playlist.
Awesome.
There you go.
Sadly, I was like too young to know all the cool underground stuff, and I was kind of stuck being a directioner. So like One Direction was a thing. Lord, she just released like Royal, which like changed the whole thing. Lana Del Rey, I was really into it. I know it was the beginning of like binging shows. We didn't have those platforms. Breaking Bad, Orange the New Black. People went crazy over this. That's pretty much, you know, what I grew up with. And just having an iPod.
Yeah.
I didn't sleep for a couple of weeks.
I had the old iPod Touch without the camera, the iPod 3.
It was small. It was tiny. Yeah.
Super tiny.
Oh boy. I mean, just like every cool band from Montreal that I either was obsessed with in university, like the Deers and the Unicorns and Arcade Fire, or stuff I was like falling in love with for the first time, like the earliest stuff by like Mac DeMarco, who was then called Makeup Videotape, or the very first like Tops EP and Grimes, Sean Nicholas Savage, Adam and the Amethyst, Miracle Fortress, Think About Life. Like music from Montreal is like really just like etched in my heart, and you know, I just love the music scene here, and I think it's so inspiring.
One last question. So the film obviously takes place 2011, 15 years ago. Also in 2011, 15 years ago, Roderick Rules.
Yes.
Such an incredible 4-minute film of my childhood. So what was it like 15 years later now, having experienced and the lasting impact of that film for you?
I mean, it was wild to shoot this for the time that was Wimpy Kid, because I remember getting my haircut and we were chewing out the back, and I was like, oh, right. And I was having a flashback. I was like, that's what I looked like back then. I was like, that was the exact haircut. And so it was, because that was Wimpy Kid was such a formative time in my life, to then sort of replicate that time again in this so many years, 15 years later, was, I don't know, it was a beautiful experience.